Hey guys, Chris Dunn here, aka the Boogie Man. It is December the 9th, as the cameraman just explained to me. It's not November. Yeah, if you notice behind me, we ain't got rid of this thing yet. So we're gonna walk you through a little bit of stuff we've done. Customers added quite a few things to it, which don't get me wrong, it's just gonna make it more badass. Okay guys, I got the tie rod off. Now we're gonna pull these steering arms off and we're gonna look at how much damage is here. All right. Now look at that. Look at that right there. Look how bad that's been rubbing. That shouldn't even be touching anything. Look at this. Look how bad this right here's rubbing. It's done rubbed. This is a sheet metal thing. Look at that. It's done about rubbed it. So every time this steering arm turns, it's rubbing this right here. That's just bad. That's shitty workmanship. What that is. That's crazy. So now what we're going to do is we have took the steering arm off of the passenger side, and for right now, don't pay attention because we got lot washers, because we're just going to screw this up on here and see what kind of clearance issues we have. So we're going to look at this. I'm fixing to show y'all something that y'all all going to laugh about out there in YouTube land. Now, she's still, actually this steering arm, believe it or not, is clearing that. So this steering arm, and that's just what we're talking about, man, when you buy this stuff, let's go ahead and call this like it is. All this shit's made in China these days, man. You know, when you get it, if you think you just gonna bolt this crap up on here and not have no problems, think again. Fit it. Check it, inspect it. If it don't work, relieve it, grind it, mock it. That's what you've got to do. Mock this stuff up first, look at all of it, and then you're gonna take it back apart and fix it. Now that we're doing this, you can see that the problem we got now, and I think you might can see this, is this steering arm is so low. Here's what we're trying to do. Now we are trying, you see, we're having a problem here. We got to figure out somehow how to get this to work like this. See, that's not going to work. Number one, we went from the top, it's done from the bottom. So we're going to have to cut this steering arm off, modify it, because we need this down lower and we need the arm up higher. So, you know, we're going to have to cope out this wishbone a little bit. We're going to have to definitely modify these steering arms. Or I'm going to have to maybe even look at investing, ordering a new set. I believe I can modify them. I really don't like modifying steering arms too much, but we'll see what we can do. We definitely got to fix all this and try to get this in between here and do some coping and all. We radiused out the wishbones, and you'll like what we've done, and we have now made it rear steer. The rear steer has cured the accrement, so it's working properly now. So we're going to do a little bit of shimming on the shocks and some other few little things to the front end, and it's dead on the money. Okay guys, if you notice, we're working on this wishbone. Some people call it a radius arm, I call it a wishbone. Earlier, we actually welded a little plate onto it and we took a hole saw, and that's a good little tip if people don't know. That's a good tip of the day. If you need to do a half a hole with a hole saw, which is a very interrupted cut, which is very hard to do, if it's something like that, or still you can take and tack you a piece of flat bar to it and use that as your drill fixture to keep you bit straight, and you can do a half a hole. Turn the drill down real slow, go easy, hold it tight because it's going to be an interrupted cut, meaning it's going to go click, click, click. The reason we done that a while ago over there is we did it to show you guys that we're rear steering, we needed to make sure it would clear. And we thought that would work, and it did, but it's not enough. So now what we've done is we took the bars off the car, and now we got them here on the welding table, and we're going to open them up even more, which I've done on the bandsaw. And now what we got to do is plate this in for strength. So I've got a 1/8 thick, 1 inch wide plate that we're going to roll and lay in here, and then we're going to weld it up, and we're going to grind it and blend it. And so that's what we're doing here. So now we're putting in the plate, and now we're tacking it in. And now we're going to come over here and do some grinding and blending. and now it's nice and strong again. We've cut out, this stuff's really good and thick. It's 1/4 inch wall, so these wishbones are super thick, man. You can cut a good bit out of them, they don't lose strength. And remember something, the wishbone is not really doing anything but keeping the front end from moving forwards and backwards and left, and that's all it's doing. The spring and the perch is holding, the axle's holding the weight. So there's not a lot of pressure on these wishbones. We was able to notch them out pretty heavily to get our steering bars to clear. Now, the steering box was a mess. It's a 1940 Ford steering box. Took me a little bit to figure that out. Once I got it off and got it took apart, it was full of water. It was locked up, and I don't see how it was turning, period. Here's what we have done. The core is bad. So I got on good old interwebs on the eBay, and I found a rebuildable core in California. It's in transit here now. They still make a rebuild kit, actually a brand new rebuild kit for a 40 Ford steering box. Got it on order, which is coming in with a new shaft and new worm gears and all of that. And that's gonna help big time with the steering too. So like I go back and tell you this car had a lot of problems, let me explain why the steering box was so screwed up. Besides, well, you can say, duh, it had water in it. These older steering boxes, back in the 40s, 30s, they had oil in them. A lot of people ain't used to that because modern day steering boxes don't have oil in them. They're packed full of grease. So this old 40 Ford box had oil in it. You'll notice when we go around it here in a few minutes, it has a drain plug in the top, or should I say a fuel plug. Number one, they never was the best of holding oil, so the oil would leak out over time. Of course, it's a 40 Ford box that somebody's put on here on this cool ass 29 Roadster, and they've turned the box sideways. But I'm not gonna blame them because the oil was already been gone. Whoever had put just a smidge of grease in it, or I'm not even sure if they put grease in it or if the oil literally just didn't gel. So when you've got these old 40 Ford steering boxes and you're gonna use them for these type of hot rods and rat rods and this and that, and you're gonna turn them, well, number one, convert them from oil. First thing you do is get all the oil out of it, clean it real good, and you pack it full of grease. And the grease will stay. It'll stay for a long time. I hadn't checked this, but that's probably the reason they don't put oil in these steering boxes, these manual steering boxes. And they pack them full of grease now. Because these older ones had, oil, the oil would leak out, and there you go. But this box was so screwed up. Whoever put it on here, I don't even understand they didn't check it because it literally was rusted up. I've got bearings. When I pulled it out and put it on my table, water come out of it. So, and it had virtually no kind of lubricant or grease in it whatsoever. So it was bound up. So it's amazing to me what it was taking. I understand now why I had a clicking in the steering wheel. So long story short, this thing's gonna run into an extra episode on the steering, which is us rebuilding the box, which you're gonna love. We're gonna rebuild it. Hey, I've been on YouTube. I have found maybe one person, and I still ain't quite understand what they're doing. So we're gonna do, the next episode's gonna be about rebuilding the steering box on this car. And I think you're gonna enjoy rebuilding a 40 Ford steering box. That's gonna cure the front end, and we're done. And I think we got some stuff on the rear that's hitting, the rear shocks are hitting. We're gonna fix that. We'll toss that in a little bit, a clip here and there and that, and we'll go from there. But they ain't gonna say the next episode because we got to move on to some other things for about a week or so. We'll be back to the 29. We're going to build a custom set of headers, which are going to be badass. And basically, I'll give you a rough idea what they're going to look like. We're going to go into one, and we're going to put a turnout on it, and it's just going to be an awesome, good-looking set of headers. These headers get into the tire, and they look like shit, and they sound like shit. So we're going to put something cooler on it. The owner come by the other day, him and his wife, and they want a custom hood. Like I need any more work in the shop, right? But I enjoy English wheeling and that kind of stuff, so I'm gonna build them a custom hood, and all we're gonna do is go to heat. We're gonna leave it open side, and we're gonna do them a custom hood, and they're gonna paint the same color as the car. I'm not sure whether we're gonna go steel or aluminum. That may be an episode that you get to see. I'm not 100% sure. Aluminum's a little easier to work. They don't care because they're going to paint it anyway. I may make it out of aluminum, which would be interesting too. So if not, we'll make it out of like 20 gauge steel. We'll roll and English wheel it. We're going to turn us a lip in right here. And what we're going to do is Zeus fasten it with flush Zeus fasteners right in here. So when they want to take it off, they can literally take a Zeus loose, take them loose on that side and fold it out and pop it off of there. So they can service and do whatever they need to do. Air cleaner wise, the air cleaner is going to hit it. So what we're going to do is find them a little short, stubby, like if anybody owns a boat, they make these little short air cleaners that are kind of cool on the boat, that are spark arrest type air cleaners. I think it'd look kind of cool on there, so that's what we're going to stick on it. So unfortunately, we didn't get rid of this 29 like we wanted to. More stuff will come. We got some big news coming far as, I shouldn't say it really Boogie Tech, because Boogie Tech's a channel. We're going to expand Boogie Tech a little bit. We got some products coming out, and this is going to be based more on the drag racing stuff and mainly toward the gassers. I don't know how to really talk about this. We're not going to go into much right now, but be paying attention the next episode or two. By January 1, we're going to go ahead and release some products that we've already made. We've got about 3 other products in development right now. It's just something I enjoy doing. I love gassers. I love building stuff for the gassers. We actually have a gasser coming in. Stay tuned. We're going to go almost step by step. We're going to put a cage in it. We're going to do the suspension on it, the rear suspension. We're going to clean up some of the front suspension. We're going to make the front end flip. And this is a badass 100% go race, some badass gasser racing heads up. So enjoy that. That's going to be a cool car. It's out of a friend of mine and a customer out of Atlanta, Georgia. Super nice guy. You enjoy him too. We'll actually bring him in. You'll get to meet him. He's a hell of a cool guy. Stay tuned. Chris Dunn, aka the Boogie Man. Hey guys, Chris Dunn here, aka the Boogie Man. It is November to something. I believe it's November the 9th.
It's December.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Get them! Book them down, oh.
They coming to get you, Chris.
They're coming to get me. So, stay tuned. So,